What's going on, everybody? It's King Club here, and today I'm gonna be ranking the Smash Bros. Characters for the next roster. So I'm gonna be cutting down the roster to about, I'd say, 40 characters and see how it goes. And also, I'll preface the audio may not be good in this video because this is my first time ever like screen recording my computer. I'm just figuring this out, and I had to use like some random ass mic I found. So I might lean back in my chair and the audio might sound different. I have no idea, but you might just have to live with it, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be ranking these characters, and so I'll explain it as I go, but here's how I'm gonna be ranking them. So here we have staying for sure. Like this is like Mario. Like you're an iconic Nintendo character. Like you're obviously staying in this. Like there's no reason why you shouldn't be. And then this one is, I'm gonna have a staying for the, so, hold on. Staying for now. These are people who I feel like should stay, but if we have too many people and staying for sure, they're gonna get cut. And we have cut if needed. I see these are kind of like the last people that are gonna stay in. I don't really have an example, but like people who I feel like, I feel like I kind of want in there, but like they can be cut, and then we're just gonna have cut for now, or cut for now, because I don't know how this is gonna end up. I could just cut too many people, and we'll see, but. And then we have cut for sure. Cut for Aura. Cut for sure. Alright, now let's get rid of these. Oh shit, what the hell happened? Oh. Let's get rid of these. Alright. So now let's get started. I guess we're going in alphabetical order. Alright. Bayonetta, I'd say, I'd say Bayonetta. Okay, so something I kind of want to do is if you ran your Smash Bros, if you were running that shit, I think you can maybe stay. And Bayonetta ran Smash 4, but I feel like because Bayonetta's less known, I feel like she's a cut if needed. Like, I feel like she is a cut if needed. For now. Well, at the end, I'll go in. Bowser, staying for sure. He's iconic. I feel like of the characters, I feel like he's a shoo-in for every Smash Bros. Like if they cut Bowser, that's like stupid. Like, I don't get it. Like, I do think of the Mario characters, for sure, he stays. And just, I do feel like he's a good villain to add to the roster. He's well-rounded. Like, I just think he should be there. And also, alright, I guess I'll say this now. So, I think the most a series should have of each character is 4, maybe 5 by some exceptions, maybe. And also Yoshi won't count as Mario. And Yoshi can be there without being a part of the Mario group. So yeah, like that's how it's gonna go. Bowser Jr. is cut for now. I like Bowser Jr. being in Smash Bros. I think he's a fun addition, but like we don't really need him. I'm gonna be honest. Now, Captain Falcon is staying for sure. I know, and look, I fucking know F-Zero hasn't had a game in decades. But let's be for real here. If Captain Falcon wasn't in the next Smash Bros., that would just be so fucking odd. Like, why, in what world would he be cut? Like, he is kind of a face for Smash Bros. Like, he is like a Smash Bros. Character. And, like, another thing I'll say is if you're just iconic, like, I value iconicness more than if you're relevant nowadays. Like, if you were iconic within Smash Bros. Especially is what I mean, I would value that more than somebody who's just kind of more relevant. And some of you guys might disagree with that. Sure, disagree with it, but that's how I'm doing it. Captain Falcon staying. Charizard, and now the Pokemon reps are a little confusing because I don't really know who to cut, but Charizard I think is staying for now. And also, I don't know if I want to put Pokemon Trainer in here. I think, because, alright, I don't really know, but I do think Charizard does have a right to stay. And he is iconic. I do think, like, if you're iconic within your game, I do think you have a better shot with me. So, Charizard, with that being said, I feel like Charizard's staying for now, but I feel like I could cut him. Chrom is cut for sure. I guess cut for now. I guess because he is a bit more prominent of a Fire Emblem character. And Fire Emblem's getting the fucking axe, let me tell you. I am axing a bunch of those motherfuckers. I am a Fire Emblem. There should not be that many. I know it's been said to death, but there should not be that many Fire Emblem characters in Smash Bros. And Chrom, I do feel like, is just kind of one that we don't really need. Like, I feel like I would just put other characters over him. But I feel like for now he's cut. Now, Cloud is staying for now, and I feel like he's just such a big get for Smash Bros. Now, and I'm a bit of a Nintendo elitist when it comes to Smash Bros. I feel like Nintendo should have most of the spots when it comes to this. Now, but when it comes to, I'm not saying I don't want any third parties. Like, when it comes to some of these characters, like, unless you're, like, fucking Sonic and anybody in that genre, I don't think you're a necessary character to have it. I like third-party characters, but I do think within these situations, we're gonna have to make cuts, and I do think Cloud, is one of those characters that I think he's iconic. Final Fantasy is an iconic game. And I do think he's a fun character to include here. So I think for now he can stay. Corrin is cut for fucking sure, dude. Corrin, I'm putting Corrin on my fucking insane. Like, be fucking for real. Daisy's another one. Yeah, you're cut. Like, I'm sorry, Daisy. I don't have an issue with you, but, like, come on. Same thing with Dark Pit. Like, I kind of fuck with Dark Pit, but, like, we don't really need. Dark Pit can be an alternate costume for Pit. Same thing with Dark Samus. Like, I think Dark Samus is cool, but, like, again, this can be a costume. Diddy Kong. This is kind of one I'm debating, because I'm like, should Donkey Kong get all 3 of its reps? And now I'm a little biased bitch, so, I mean, if you watched my last video, but I feel like Diddy Kong is staying for now. I don't want to throw Diddy Kong in there just yet, I don't think, but I do think he should be considered. We'll come back around. Donkey Kong is staying for sure. Like, of course. Like, you need Donkey Kong in this game. And, alright, also, Scott the Woz was doing this video, and he said if the roster was cut down to 15 characters, DK should be cut. Scott the Woz, that's probably your worst fucking take ever. I mean, you wouldn't be watching this, but, like, what the fuck kind of take was that, dude? Like, Scott the Woz, I like Scott the Woz a lot. Like, especially Scott. I don't really watch his main channel, but the Scott Stash channel, that channel's really good. But, like, Scott, what the fuck are you talking about, respectfully? Yeah, and yeah, Donkey Kong obviously staying. Dr. Mario. Alright, I feel like he should be cut for now. Maybe he's a character I just kind of want to include. I probably won't end up including him. But he's kind of just a character I think is funny that he was even added in the first place. Like, why the fuck was Dr. Mario a character added in? But like, this is another one. Like, he could easily be a costume, like easily. Also, another thought I had when I was thinking about this is, what if a Smash Bros. Character gets cut from from this in the next Smash game? A character gets cut and just becomes a Mii costume. That's like that kind of fate would just be like awful for some. And I know it would definitely happen too. But then again, yeah, Doc is cut. I like Doc a lot, but I do think he's cut. Duck Hunt is cut for now. I think of the retro reps, I think he's kind of the weakest. And I know he is iconic, but I feel like I'd rather have another retro rep, and I'm probably only going to include like one retro rep. Cuz like then again, like, and I know what I've been saying about iconicness, but like, are Ice Climbers really I mean, to Smash Bros they are, but like, I do think like the retro reps that were introduced earlier, I do think have a better chance than Duck Hunt. I like Duck Hunt, but I don't know. Falco? Now, Falco is iconic to Smash Bros, but I do think there's room for him because he is a secondary character in a series that isn't prominent. And I know what I've said about prominent series, but I do think like I don't think you should be cut simply because your series isn't relevant. But that doesn't mean but that's not always going to be the case, and especially in the series with multiple characters. And Star Fox is a bit irrelevant, but I do think. All right, I'll just do this. Fox is staying for sure. He's iconic to Smash Bros. He's staying, but Falco, I feel like we can cut if we need though. I do kind of want him to stay, but he can be cut if we need. Fox staying for sure. Another one staying for sure is Ganondorf. Obviously, like Legend of Zelda is in Nintendo's Big Three. He's staying for sure. Like, end of story. Another big villain, staying. Greninja, he's staying for now. Of the Pokemon, I feel like he's probably a good fit. I know Greninja is like the most popular Pokemon, and like he is one of my favorites, low-key. And I know, and like people are gonna be like, well, I think another Pokemon should have a shot. I agree. I definitely agree. I think like Sceptile would be cool in Smash, or like any other starter besides fucking Inteleon, any other starter Pokemon. But I do think of the Pokemon, I do think keeping Greninja kind of just works. So yeah. Ice Climbers is gonna be a cut if needed. Cut if needed. I like them as the retro rep. I think they're fun, and they've been around forever, and I do think they fit in well with the roster. But also just because they're unique, they're a duo character. That's another reason to keep them. But I do think they can be cut if we need. Now, Ike, of the Fire Emblem characters, he's one that, like, I would rather. He's probably the one. He's on my list. I'm acting like I have a big ass list, but it's like 2 characters of like Fire Emblem characters that are like that should stay. I do think he is kind of one of those that could stay. So he's staying for now. And yeah, Incineroar. I love Incineroar. Like, if you hate on Incineroar, fuck you. Fuck you. But, yeah, Incineroar. I like him a lot, but, like, I feel like he can be cut. He can be cut. Like, I guess he can be cut. Inkling is staying for sure. I feel like Splatoon has really kind of, like, had their place with Nintendo, and I do think Inkling should be on the roster within this next Smash game. So yeah, Inkling stays. Isabelle. So I have a unique proposition for everybody. Because there's 2. I'm gonna bring Villager up here because we're gonna talk about them at the same time because I feel like this is a bit redundant if I like do that. But I'm gonna be honest. I think Isabelle should be staying for sure, like to represent Animal Crossing. I think Isabelle is just kind of a more fun rep, a more like kind of iconic rep. Villager's cool. I like Villager, but I feel like he's kind of like, even though he is the playable character, he is kind of supposed to be like a bit like of a blank slate. But I feel like Isabelle kind of works better, and they have like borderline the same moveset anyway. So like, I think Villager is a cut if needed, and I feel like I'm leaning more towards cutting him because I feel like Animal Crossing only really needs 1 rep for being serious. I like Animal Crossing, but I do think Isabelle kind of works better as a rep. She's more unique. And yeah. Ivysaur. Now, let me grab the rest of Pokemon Trainer. Now, Pokemon Trainer himself is a cut if needed, leaning towards cut. He's such a unique character, like with the switching Pokemon and such, but like I do think it's a bit like, do we need him? Same thing with Squirtle. I'll put them right next to him. Squirtle and Ivysaur. Like, if they decide to pull like a Smash 4, just throw Squirtle in the game, I think that would be kind of funny. But like, I do think Charizard just kind of works better overall. Oh, okay. Now we have probably a controversial take. I think Jigglypuff is in cut if needed territory. I'm sorry. I just feel like of the 12, Jigglypuff just doesn't make sense. Like, of the Pokemon we have to put on the roster, like, I don't get why I would put Jigglypuff on the roster. I know Jigglypuff's a part of the original 12 and what I've been preaching about iconicness. I'm gonna contradict myself a bit in this video. I'm sorry in advance. But yeah, Jigglypuff is cut if needed. Now Ken's cut. I fucking love Ken, but like, we don't really need him. Now DDD. DDD is someone who I'm gonna say is staying for sure. I think Kirby's iconic, and like, some people kind of debate like, oh, should DDD be cut or Meta Knight be cut? Honestly, I don't know, but I think they can both kind of stay, and we'll get there. But yeah, K. Rool. I would love if K. Rool stayed, and I think like K. Rool is kind of a more unique character. Like, I'm considering like throwing in K. Rool over like Diddy Kong for the DK spot, because I think he just kind of works, you know? Like, he's a fun character. Like, he's interesting. Another villain also. Something Smash Bros. Is lacking, I feel like it's just villain characters. Like, I feel like we could have more villains. I mean, we have a lot of villains, but like, I do feel like if there wasn't such a focus on third party, I feel like Smash Bros. Could be a bit different in terms of like, they could have added more like interesting Nintendo picks. And I feel like that was something that was lacking from Ultimate was interesting Nintendo, especially in the DLC. I mean, we had I mean, not to trying to shit on Ultimate's picks because like they did get some crazy ass picks in here, but yeah, So what the fuck was I even talking about? I don't even know. I'm sorry, guys, but I needed a sip of water. My mouth's getting dry as shit. All right, obviously Kirby's staying. I mean, like that would just be dumb. Same thing with Link. Like obviously, like why would I cut either of them? Mac. Mac is a staying for now. I do think Punch Out. It's interesting because Mac is like kind of a retro rep, I guess. I don't really he is, but like I don't really consider him one. Also, because I do think having a boxer on the roster just kind of works. And I do like the idea of just fighting game characters being in Smash Bros. Like Ryu. So I do kind of want him because he's a good Nintendo pick, you know. Lucario, uh, I think he's a cut if needed. I like Lucario, but I think of the Pokemon, I do think we can maybe cut him. Lucas, I'm sorry, Lucas. I love you, but you're cut. Like, we kind of don't really need you, but I love you, Lucas. Don't worry. Lucina, you're cut. Sorry. All right. Well, obviously, well, Luigi's staying. Mario's cut for sure. Like, come on. Like, why the fuck do we need Mario? Like, that's just such a dumbass pick. Marth is of the Fire Emblem characters. Marth's the one that's gonna stay. Like, Marth's the kind of just the face of the series. So yeah, Marth can stay. I think this is probably the first third party we're putting in staying for sure. Mega Man is staying for sure. He's too iconic of a character to be cut. And I feel like he's probably the biggest. Actually, I won't say that because that'll start a fight. But Mega Man is staying. Meta Knight? Meta Knight I feel like is too cool to be cut. Also, from what I was saying earlier with like Bayonetta, and I meant to say this for Fox as well, but if you fucking ran the shit out of your Smash Bros. Game, I do think you have a bit of merit here. Brawl Meta Knight, I do think he should stay. Mewtwo, I feel like behind Pikachu, Mewtwo is the best Pokemon pick in my opinion. Like some of you guys will probably disagree with that, but I just think Mewtwo just works so well as a Pokemon pick because he's like the legendary, he's like a fierce Pokemon. And I just feel like he just kind of fits in with like the big guys. So yeah, I do think so. Now the Mii fighters, all right, Mii fighters are just a bit weird. They're not gonna be counted in this because I feel like they're just I'm gonna put them in their own category. I don't really know what to do with them because I feel like in the next Smash game they're just gonna be in there anyway because like they're just easy to add and like there's kind of no reason not to cut them. But I feel like I'm gonna exclude them because I feel like it's just kind of dumb being like, oh yeah, like the Mii characters are staying. Like they can be their own thing. Game and Watch. Now of the retro reps, I kind of like him the most, so he's staying for now. But again, he can be cut. because I do think he is just, but I do think he's just so unique and just so fun. I do think he should maybe stay, and I do think he should be considered. Ness, my fucking boy, you are fucking staying for sure. I know we cut Lucas, but I do think that Lucas was kind of a more necessary cut. Ness is for staying for sure. He's been around all the Smash games, and I'm a little biased. Earthbound is one of my favorite games ever, but Ness, you're staying, dude. Olimar, I kind of want to cut Olimar because I think he looks fucking stupid. But, like, that's a bit unfair. Olimar is staying because just Pikmin has its place with Nintendo, and I do think they should get their rep with Olimar, no matter how dumb I think he looks. But yeah, yeah, Olimar can stay. Another third party that's staying for sure, Pac-Man. Like, yeah, you're staying, dude. Like, you're just like the gaming character, like from the '80s. Like, of course, like you gotta keep Pac-Man. Now Palutena can be cut for now. Like, I don't really know what to do with her. I feel like Kid Icarus. Like, I don't really think we need like where the hell is? Okay, he's right. Pit. Well, let me talk about Pit real quick. Now, Pit, I'm gonna put in staying for now. I do like Pitt, and I do think like he could stay, but when this is all said and done, but yeah, so Pitt can be added in, but I do think like Palutena doesn't really need to be here. So yeah, well, let's continue. Peach is staying for sure. Now, of the Mario reps, we have Bowser, Mario, Peach, Luigi. I think we're good. And this is not counting Yoshi or Wario because they have their own series. But I do think the series, like, I do think you should cap, at most, you should have four, I think. And I do think Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser are, like, just the perfect picks. So, yeah. Pichu, I like Pichu. Pichu, I think it's a fun addition, but you're cut. Pikachu's staying for sure. Like, he's the face of Pokemon. Kind of has to stay. Piranha Plant's staying for sure. You know, he's iconic. Like, he was on the NES. He he comes out of the. All right, I'm fucking yanking your chain, dude. Piranha Plant. All right, Piranha Plant's cut, but like, I just think it'd be so funny if they had him on the roster. People would flip their shit. If people would be so fucking mad. People would be so pissed if Piranha Plant took a spot on the roster. That would be awesome. Richter. Uh, yeah, Richter's cut. Like, I don't really know what to tell you. Ridley is staying for sure. Like, Ridley had all this build up to be put in Smash Bros. And like, if he just gets cut now, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, and I do think like Ridley should stay. He's like the obvious Metroid rep with Samus. So yeah, let's keep him. Rob is a cut if needed. I don't really know what to do with Rob. Like, Rob's cut. I mean, not cut, but like, I like Rob. He's cool, and he's like a fun addition. But yeah. No, when I'm talking about Fire Emblem characters, I'm thinking of keeping. For some reason, I have Robin pretty high on that list. I do think, like, he's staying for now, but I do think he can definitely be cut if if it comes down to it. because he's the most unique out of the Fire Emblem characters in my opinion. Rosalina, I'm sorry, but you're cut. Like, not much room for you here. Like, I feel like like, this is something that's, I feel like just wasn't present in Smash Ultimate. Like, as I was saying, like, a character, like, Rosalina would not have ever been added if, like, she was introduced, like, after Smash 4. Like, there's no way that would have happened. But yeah, I think Rosalina's like, I guess it's like cool that they added that they kind of threw her in. But yeah, Roy's my favorite Fire Emblem character. I don't know why, but I do think he's a cut if needed. Also, I have major. I used to. This is completely unrelated to Roy, but I used to have major beef with fucking Ike, and I still kind of do. I just have a lot of hatred for Ike because me and my friend, we would play like the two-player online matches, and we ran into these two Ikes that would just spam their ether up B just the whole time, and it pissed me off so bad. I denounced Ike's existence for like a while. Ryu is another one that I feel like is staying for sure. Like Ryu should stay in my opinion. Like he's a popular third party and he's a fighting game character. That's what I was saying before. Ryu should stay. Samus obviously should stay. Sheik Sheik I feel like can be cut. I mean, actually, yeah, cut if needed. She's iconic, but like I don't think we need Sheik. I'm gonna be honest. Shulk, I really just want to cut the Xenoblade characters, but like, that's a bit unfair. And Shulk, you can stay for now, I guess. Simon, I don't know what to do with Simon. I guess he can stay for now, just because he's a good third party, I guess. Solid Snake, for the simple fact he was the first third party character, he's in one of these two. I guess he's cut if needed. I like Snake a lot, but like we don't. Do we really need him? Like no, but he's fun to have. Now, oh, here we go. So, of all the third parties, Sonic is the one that's like if I had to cut every third party besides one, Sonic would be that one. Like he's just too he fits in with the Nintendo characters just so well. I don't know why. He just works so well. Toon Link's cut. We don't need Toon Link. We Fit Trainer's funny, but she's cut. Wolf, sorry dude, you're cut. Hey, that comes down to this dude. Yoshi's staying. Yoshi's iconic. And yes, Yoshi gets to stay. Young Link's cut. We don't need Young Link. Zelda's staying for sure. She's a good character, and also it kind of completes the Zelda. I think Zelda's good with. I think Ganondorf Link Zelda is a good 3 for Zelda, and I do think that should be it. I do think if Zelda had another character, also another thing is if the character now that Zero Suit Samus is here, I feel like Zero Suit Samus is cut simply because I feel like we don't really need two of the same. It's not. I know it's not the same thing, but I feel like having two characters who are the same person, I think's a bit unnecessary for this roster. I'm looking at the top to see if I'm like not making an ass of myself, but like, yeah. Well, all right. Why the fuck did they do this? Like, why are these two separated? Like, oh yeah, like fucking Popo is staying for sure, but Nana's fucking cut. Like, yeah, that's what, yeah, like, this is what we're doing. Like, okay, like, we'll just put them here. Um, Warrior's an interesting one. I kind of want him to stay, but he can be cut if we need. But I do think he fits more in line with the characters here. Okay. Oh, now we're in the fucking territory. This is where like this is kind of what I was worried about because I feel like when you look at the DLC characters, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, let's keep most of these." Because they're just iconic characters, but like I don't know what to do. Joker, I guess, can stay for now. I guess. I don't even hate Persona 5. I just don't know. Hero, I'm gonna be honest, you're cut for now. Kazooie, staying for sure. Alright, in all serious. Alright. Well, alright. Well, I guess this will just be Banjo and Kazooie. I love Banjo Kazooie. It's a very good game. And I know I'm a little biased, but Banjo can be cut if needed. Because Banjo, like, if Rare never, like, if Rare never left Nintendo, Banjo would have been in Smash Bros. In, like, probably by Brawl. Especially if Banjo kept getting games, probably by Brawl, Banjo would have been here. Would have been in for sure. Terry, Terry, Terry's a character I oddly really like. Like, he on paper he should be a character I fucking hate because I don't know who he is. But like, I like Terry. But with that being said, like you're cut. Same thing with. Oh, don't even get me fucking started. See, you're cut. I'm not even saying your name. Uh, Min Min, you're cut. Arms is just kind of like a dumbass franchise. Steve's a character I want to cut just because I don't think he fits in. But I do think that's a bit unfair just because the stranglehold. I do think. You know what? You know what? Fuck it, Steve. You know what? You can go there. Sephiroth, he's a cut if needed, I'm gonna be honest. We don't need Sephiroth, but I like him. Same with Pyra and Mithra. Like, we don't need them at all. Actually, they're cut for now. Kazuya, I think he's cool, but he can be cut. Sora is. Yeah, Sora can be here. Alright, so looking at the roster we have now, we have about. We have 25 characters, so I'm gonna have 15 more characters here. So let's look at these two pages and add in characters. So for the so Charizard and so of the Pokemon reps, I think I'm gonna go with Charizard and Greninja. I think they should both be here. They're both iconic in their own right, and I do think they round out the Pokemon characters well. And I do think for more third-party representation, Cloud's a good pick. Cloud's just a good pick. I feel like he's definitely more, like he's interesting. He has that. He has that going for him. And yeah. Now, for the Fire Emblem characters, I'm just gonna go with Ike, cause eh, uh, I don't know. Let's come back to that. Um, Diddy Kong and K. Rool. Hmm. Part of me just wants to do this. Let's do that for now. They're both in for now, but one of them can be taken out if we so desire. Sorry, I have a lighter on my desk. I'm just fucking around with it. shit. Shit. Okay. I do think at this point we can let Pitt in. We can add Shulk. Mac, yes. Game & Watch, yes. Simon, yes. Just because I feel like a whip character is different. Now for Fire Emblem, let's just go with Ike. And honestly, you know what, Steve, you get your spot. I think I think Steve's just a fun character to round out this roster with, so I think you should stay. So we have 5 characters left. Now, does Fire Emblem get a 3rd spot? I don't know. I feel like Ice Climbers, you get your spot. Okay. Let's just go in here and weed out some of these people. I'd say now that we added Charizard, you guys can go and cut. And I feel like Jigglypuff and Lucario, you guys are also going to be cut. We have 2 retro reps, so Rob, I'm sorry. You've been evicted from the Big Brother house. Roy, yeah, you're cut. Sheik, I feel like you can be cut. Villager, cut. Let's just put these guys up here. So 4 spots remaining. 4 spots remaining. I think let's add Bayonetta just so we have another girl. Because I feel like we're lacking in girls. We have Zelda, Peach, Inkling, Isabelle. Yeah, I think Bayo can stay simply for that reason. Um, hmm. Okay, this is kind of tough. Honestly, okay, sorry if I'm like indecisive as shit, but was there anybody that I kind of snubbed? Honestly, no, there isn't. Robin, you know what? I do think like we can have Robin in here. I know it's a little odd, but yeah. And now, of these people left, I think we can cut Sephiroth. I'm sorry, Sephiroth, but yeah, you're cut. Okay, this is an interesting point. We're at an interesting point here. So, there's merit to, I feel like, all of these. Sora, I feel like, is such a big get for Smash Bros. In general. Wario's just a fun character. He's iconic. But at the same time, we already have a ton of Mario characters. So I feel like Wario, but I don't know. Banjo, I'm a little biased, but I do think he has merit to be here. Falco, he's been around since Melee. He's iconic to Smash Bros. But the thing is like, do we need him? I don't know. Snake, the first third-party character in Smash Bros. Cool. And then Joker, he ran Smash Ultimate, and also he's just kind of he's like another one of these characters. I feel like he's like a big get. So, I feel like with that being said, Sora, hmm. I do think this is just going to come down to uniqueness. So, sorry, Falco. Hmm. Okay. Also, just because I feel like we have a lot of people in Snake's archetype. Do we? Like Ryu? I feel like. Sorry if I'm like being super indecisive here. But what? Ah, God. Okay. Okay. So I think our last two will be Banjo and Kazooie, and finally Solid Snake. Okay. Uh, let's. All right. So here is my roster if we cut it down to 40 characters from Ultimate. Down to 40. I feel like we have a this roster has a lot going for it here. Like all right, let me put them in in their like kind of Smash Bros order so you can see so you can just get an idea of like what this would look like on screen. It was yeah, then it goes Fox, then Pikachu, then Luigi. Oh, I'm a stupid dumb bitch. I'm okay. I did that whole fucking video without I remember like kind of counting in my head and I was like, "Oh, I think it's 10 in each row." I was mistaken. All right, you know what? It's going to be 44 characters. I don't really want to go through the hassle of cutting other people. Yeah, and then okay, this is getting a little hazy. I don't really know the number. I think this is like right though. Okay. Sorry if I'm being really fucking quiet, but okay, and oh shit. All right, so I think they're now in order. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is good. With that being said, this is King Club signing off.